cuties, besties, and ghosties. This is Muertera. Welcome to my channel, Muertero. For my returning friends, hello! So good to see you. For all of my new viewers, hi! Consider liking, commenting, subscribing if you'd like to see more videos like this. I do monthly predictions every month and have a lot of love readings as well. So excited to have you here. Today we are going to be looking at predictions for April. So we'll look at kind of the central energy that's going to be coming up in the month, and then we'll look how it will impact your love life and your career and finances. So really excited about this one. Then we'll wrap up with a little bit of advice. This should be like a relatively straightforward reading, so let's hop to it. Okay. Bye. Hi cuties. So let's take a look at the piles. For the first pile, we have a bit of turquoise. This always reminds me of kind of like getting in tune with the ancestors, like very, very highly utilized by Native Americans in the Northwest, Southwest, the west of the continent that the Americas is on. we'll just say that. And then we have the Santa Muerte Tarot. And then for our second pile, pile twos, we have a piece of red carnelian, all about bravery, making first moves, being courageous, kicking ass, taking names, all that good stuff. And then we have another Santa Muerte Tarot, because clearly I have an obsession and I will buy them all. This one is like the Santa Muerte Tarot Book of the Dead extended version. And then we have pile 3. We have an amethyst point. I think I named him Mr. Pointy in another reading, which I also got a Buffy the Vampire Slayer deck, which I can't wait to bust out, and I'm trying to figure out the perfect reading for it. I don't know why I started talking like that, but I'm really excited about it. It's a beautiful deck. But this is my tried and true, the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot. Obsessed with it. My favorite deck, I think. Sorry, friends. Maybe one day you'll get there. Okay, so sit back, relax, take some time, and yeah, hope you enjoy picking your pile. Okay, friends, I hope you've had enough time to pick your pile. Click down in the description for the timestamps if you haven't already, and I will see you in your reading. Bye! Hi, pile ones! If you chose this little turquoise buddy, then this is your reading in the Santa Muerte Tarot. One of the versions, anyway. Well, okay, so let me grab your oracles that I pre-shuffled. Okay, so first for your love energy, we have deep cellular healing, and we have balanced Jupiter. For your finances side, we have karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, conflict, and cord cutting. And then for your central energy, we have the storm. What I thought was really interesting in this pile actually is like, I would have thought that like karmic relationships and cord cutting would be on the love side, and Jupiter and deep cellular healing would be on the right. It's actually kind of interesting. I kind of like it. Okay. So I'm first really like called to just discuss the storm right now because I feel like this is like a rather like harsh like central energy, but I'm not really seeing it that way in your spread right now. I think what the storm is doing is it's really clearing out a lot of old baggage that no longer serves you. And I think this is going to be kind of the unifying theme throughout the next month for you. Um, what's really beautiful about the energies that you have here, like they just point to a lot of like really, really deep internal healing. On the left hand side, we have deep cellular healing, like physical and emotional healing that's like really, really going within. This might not even be healing that you are actively pursuing and aware of. You may be like working really hard on yourself, but I feel like you are being healed at a level deeper than you even actively realize. Like your life is just kind of shifting and realigning, and this storm energy is kind of like working in your life, like partly in a field that you're aware of, but to a great extent also just behind the scenes, kind of restructuring things. Like I almost see it as like this storm is like rip down all the Legos and then they're like building a completely different castle with it. Like that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from it. It might be a little bit more obvious in your career and finances sector. We have karmic relationships coming out, so polarity, soul growth, conflict. I feel like whereas in your love life for the next month, you are going to be like healing in a more subtle way. I feel like it's going to be like very kind of like obvious in career and finances. I'm noticing that these people are like very like there's a person that's kind of on one world and another person on another world. And I feel like if you have a job where you like the mission doesn't speak to you, you don't really care about what you're doing. Um, the people around you are kind of like low vibe. You've been working on yourself, like kind of high key, but like also things are restructuring low key as well for you this month. I feel like it's going to become much more obvious when you are in an environment that no longer suits you. I feel like you are going through an intense growth period right now, and it's going to create this divide in a certain way in your career. And it may be like you decide that this specific like job is not right for you anymore and you want to like go find something else. It might be that you're noticing that the people at your office are like a little bit more toxic, or I'm getting like restaurants, maybe somebody works in a restaurant and the people are just like no bueno. They like gossip, kind of backstab, like things like that. I feel like you're going to be distancing yourself from people who detract from your peace. And we also have cord cutting here, and cord cutting really is kind of cutting ties with those things that no longer serve us. And I feel like in this area, you're just more in tune with who you are, like from the depths of your soul outward. And it's going to become much more obvious, like when somebody tries to disturb your peace. Like maybe before you didn't know, or like you didn't notice because you also kind of felt a little chaotic on the inside. But I feel like you're cultivating this inner peace where it's going to be very obvious when somebody tries to disturb it, or there's behavior that doesn't quite align with the way that like you view yourself and you view the world anymore. So really beautiful energy. Like I like these kind of like chaotic, darker energies. I mean, I'm a priestess of Oya, and she's all about swift change. So I love it. Let's dig into tarot and ask some questions. And Jupiter also. Okay, let's talk about Jupiter for a second before. Jupiter is an energy of like balance, generosity, expansion. I feel like is this? The Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, like you've opened a door to kind of like a new way of being. And I feel like, you know, it might be easier for you, like on the love side, like there's just like less people involved, right? Like work, you've got a ton of people. Like love life, what, you have a couple people at most at any given time. Like I feel like this energy of kind of clearing out old is making way for you to like connect to your life's purpose and your passions in a much more balanced and beautiful way. And this Jupiter energy is going to help that like expand into your love life. And I feel like the more things that you clear, honestly, it seems like from kind of your like career and work side, like, you know, maybe you're in school and your groups of friends like aren't super positive, or like some of them, like the more of those relationships you kind of clear out, the more expansion you're going to see in your love life. It's kind of interesting. Okay. So Spirit, can you tell me a little bit about what's going to happen in Pile 1's love life in the next month? Oh, okay. That was enough. Okay, we have the Tower reversed. And we have the Four of Crystals, which is the Four of Swords. We have the Page of Pentacles reversed. And then we also have the Two of Pentacles. Okay. So I feel like you, like, this storm feels like it is kind of like air and restructuring and moving of energy that's kind of like already come to pass. And when I shuffled out Jupiter, I also thought of like Saturn returns. So you may have just like come out of one of your Saturn returns. But I think like you're going to be kind of integrating that Tower energy throughout this month. The Four of Swords is a period of great rest, and I think that aligns with like the kind of message of deep healing here. We also have a butterfly here, which is like metamorphosis and becoming, and crystals, like these are quartz points. It's all about like clarity. I think you're going to be getting a lot of clarity about who you are as a person. With the Page of Pentacles here reversed and the Two of Pentacles here, I feel like you're of two minds right now about your love life, which is like, it's kind of interesting. Like, I feel like on one hand, you're kind of like ready to offer a coin to somebody and like start an adventure, but you also have like this other kind of side to you where you might be kind of getting to know yourself after this period of like internal expansion. And you may be kind of trying to like balance that period of deep learning with this desire to kind of give to somebody else or allow them to come into your life. If you're already in a connection, then I think this like juggling and this it's not indecision, it's more of a balancing act. I think it's you trying to like integrate and fully communicate what's kind of going on with you internally and negotiate it with the person that you're already in a connection with. Because I think this pile could kind of go either way. Like, you could be in a long-term commitment or you could be kind of like looking for one right now. But I do think regardless, like this is kind of a moment of rest for you. And the movement is going to come, but probably not in this month. I think this month really is like getting clear on how this healing has impacted you, what's being restructured, what no longer serves you, what you want to like be, who you want to be in the future, and then trying to navigate your life and kind of like implement it. Pretty cool energy for love, actually. Okay, Love Actually. I love that movie. Okay, let's move on to career side. So Spirit, what is going on in the career side? So we have the Seven of Potions. That's the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Candles, which is the Seven of Wands reversed. Now, I see you trying to move away from whatever conflict is going on in this work environment. Like, I feel like people's behaviors are becoming more clear to you. Like you're becoming more in tune with your intuition. And like the Seven of Cups with the mirror that's there, I feel like at one point, like, you had a different view on your relationships at work, and didn't see kind of the toxic nature of some of them. I'm not saying all of them either. Like, I don't think that everybody you work with is problematic. I do think that there are select individuals that maybe, like, like you're like work husband or wife, or you kind of gossip a bit, like, things like that, or maybe like you go out drinking with coworkers and they kind of like talk shit the next day. Like, that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. I feel like you're going to be seeing people's behaviors like that more clearly, especially if they were kind of like low key behaviors. Like when people kind of like subtly put down somebody else. I feel like those are going to be the things that you're really noticing. And it's because you're becoming a more gentle and generous person. And as above, so below. Like, as your internal circumstances change and as you feel differently about yourself, you're going to start like noticing when people aren't in alignment with that. We also have the Eight of Potions. Yeah, like there's gonna be, you're gonna walk away from like certain people and certain behaviors. And the Knight of Potions and Knight of Cups, yeah, like it's really because like those things aren't making you happy anymore. And I think you have a better idea of what will make you happy. I think there is a potential that, like, depending on how much of this goes on at your office, like you might feel a little bit like an island. And that's kind of part of the reason why I was like picking up for some of you. Like, you may decide that you want to choose to like search for a new job just to find an environment that is a little bit more accepting of the new you, and where you can kind of like fully lean into this change and not feel so much resistance from other people. Overall, I just think this is like such a beautiful energy. Honestly, like Jupiter energy is some of my favorite. Okay, let's grab you some pieces of advice. Okay, Spirit, what advice do you have for our pile ones rolling into April? I just heard subtlety is the best policy. Like, I think there is, advice here. Like, this karmic relationships card, like, it can talk about conflict. And as you're changing and deciding that you want different things for yourself, like, there may be people who are resistant to that. Like, don't let yourself kind of get dragged into it. Okay, Okaran. Those who have the Orisha's blessing are destined to enjoy happiness. Yeah, so lean into your expanding gentle side. Like, to a certain extent, you're going to find that you just don't align with other people's behaviors. And that's okay, and truly it's okay for them to behave like that too. Like, we're all responsible for taking care of ourselves. Like, you get to decide if it's for you or not for you. And I think as long as you are making decisions where you feel really good at the end of the day, being like, okay, well, I was around these people and I decided like just to kind of like walk away from the gossip, or like not participate. Doesn't matter what anybody says about that. Like, as long as you feel good about you and you feel good about your decisions, then like you really can't go wrong. This is like the most positive like card in this deck. This is beautiful to get. Yeah, I'm really excited for you for this month. Honestly, I think this is just going to be a month of profound shifting for you, and it's clearing out the old and clearing out things that don't serve you and really getting you geared up and leveled up for just being in a much kinder and gentler space. Like, and it's really starting from within you, which is just beautiful, because that light and that gentleness and expansiveness it's going to start as this little spark within you and just kind of like beam out. So yeah, if this resonated, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know during April. Come back and tell me how it goes and how your month goes. But this is really beautiful energy. So thank you for coming and sharing it with me. And above all, keep your little heart safe, and hope you have a great April, and come and see me again soon. Okay? Bye. Hi, Pile 2s. If you chose this little red carnelian and the Santa Muerte Book of the Dead Tarot, then this is your reading. I'm going to pull these off to the side and grab your oracles, because I have pre-shuffled them. Let me make sure I grab them all. All of you. Okay. Okay. So we're going to do love on the left side, central energy, and then career and finance on the right. So for your love energy, we have baby steps, action, follow your intuition before it makes sense, and earth school, life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. For your central energy, we have anima mundi. And then for your career and finances, we have the 7 star sisters, birthing creations, tapestry of life, expression, and the golden children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. It's kind of like complementary energies. For earth school, we have Mars, unbalanced, and we have safety and silence for career and finance. So Anima Mundi is kind of like an interesting card. It's like the section of this deck that has kind of like Gnostic principles and soul growthy cards. This is really about kind of like integration, and the tagline is like, accept all, reject none. I feel like you have this kind of like abundant energy coming up this month, but there's kind of like a mixed bag feeling to it. Like there's going to be a lot of good, but I think there's also just like a lot of energy. So there may be kind of like some like hiccups along the way, or some points where you're going to have to like slow yourself down, because this energy seems like pretty intense. Like things are going to move quickly. Even like you got a lot of cards too. I meant to pull one for each side. I feel like it feels like there's a lot of moving parts, and a lot of moving parts in your life. And Spirit is really saying, like, especially in this card, like this person's kind of like meditating and chilling with like a gem on their face. I think it is really going to be key for you to go within and really find kind of like some internal peace for yourself as you're going through this month, just to keep yourself grounded. Like there's just a lot here. For your love side, we have baby steps in earth school. I feel like you're really learning to kind of like trust your inner guidance, and you're also making like mistakes and learning from them. Like this isn't going to be a month for you where it's going to be kind of like a smooth ride. I think this is really like a month where you're going to kind of like take 2 steps, hit a wall, learn from it, take 2 more steps, make a mistake, learn from it, and like keep kind of progressing. Like nothing like earth shattering. Like it's not, I don't want to say it like it's a bad energy, because it's absolutely not. I think it's part of that kind of like mixed bag where all of this is in service of your soul growth. But I think like there may be a tendency this month to kind of focus on like the mistakes or the hiccups and not really see the full picture. Like literally there's like, if you look at this card, I mean, there's like gems in here. There's eyes. There's like all of the like planet signs in there. Like it's really just got the cosmos. It's got everything in it. But there's a rhyme and a reason to everything that's going to happen this month. So I think that's just something to keep in mind. With both, like, or actually, like, let's talk about these first. So on career side, we have the 7 Star Sisters and the Golden Children. And there's a lot here about like birth, inner children, gifts. I feel like as you are going through this kind of like tapestry, like grab bag month, it is really in service of connecting you in somehow to your soul purpose when it comes to like your career and the special gifts that you're sharing with the world. And it feels like you're kind of like gestating right now and you're getting in touch with that intuition. Like you're really starting to learn and discern, and discerning is going to kind of steer you around the obstacles as well. So you may find like at the beginning of the month you're like there's a distinct difference between the way that you navigate through like potential obstacles at the beginning of the month versus at the end of the month. Like, for example, maybe like when you go out with friends, you get anxiety. And when you get anxiety, something weird always happens. And you're like, wow, like that was kind of like, that was fun, but that was like, why did this messed up thing happen? Like when we were out, it's kind of like little like hiccups like that, where maybe at the beginning of the month, you're like, oh, well, you know, when weird stuff happens, I always get anxiety before we go out. And by the end of the month, you're like, oh, I'm getting anxiety. Maybe I shouldn't go out. Like, I feel like there's like a learning curve that you're like, the universe has been kind of like giving you these like little nudges trying to get you in touch with your intuition. And by the end of the month, you're like starting to kind of like pick up and work more in sync with your guides and with the messages that they're sending to you. There's also something here about like, I feel like there could be like potential for like careless words kind of when you're hitting these roadblocks. And so we have both unbalanced Mars energy, and Mars energy is like drive, get it, go, like King of Wands energy. When it's unbalanced, like it can be kind of like prone to like anger or frustration or like careless words. And we also have safety and silence over here as well. And so I feel like might be like kind of like a unifying theme across, where like you might want to take a pause. Like if something bothers you and say you're in a partnership, like take a pause, take a beat, think about it, listen to your intuition. Like when you're calmed down, like go ahead and talk about it. Like you might end up saying something hurtful, like without really even realizing it. It's got kind of that like grab baggy feeling to it. So just whatever you say and like whatever conversations you say, definitely like just take a beat, think about it, and then go do it. The safety and silence over here on the career, like I feel like maybe the same energy, but like in a different way. Like as you're connecting to your intuition, you may start making different plans than what people around you have expected of you or what you've talked about before. Like maybe you want to start an art project, like maybe you want to start a tarot channel. Like I feel like you're going to be shifting, and maybe there are some things that you are going to pursue and some things that you're not. It might be better, like, because then again, it's like this grab bag energy. You might have like a lot of things kind of like flying around and you're not really sure which one you're going to pursue. Like you may want to just like hold back a little bit and not share with too many people that you have these plans, or you're like considering making a career change, leaving a job, like starting a creative project, starting a business. Like sometimes the less people know, the better. Like that way you can really connect your intuition and listen and not have the pressure or judgment of other people kind of telling you what to do and putting their 2 cents in. I feel like this is a month really that's designed to get you in touch with your intuition. And so like learning to kind of protect that and stay away from influences that could kind of like knock you off that path or like get you to second guess it are going to be really important. So let's dig a little bit more into your love life in this coming month. And I just heard that this unbalanced Mars energy, like that also, like, oh my gosh, these cards are so hard to shuffle. They're so stiff. For some of you too, that might be like a hasty breakup or breakup done hastily if you're in a partnership and are kind of considering that. So just take a beat and think about it. It's kind of like the central message. Okay, Spirit. Pile 2's love life. Okay, we have the 2 of Cups in reverse. And Temperance upright. And the 10 of Wands. Let's grab one more. I think I can fit one more in. Okay, and then the 5 of Wands in reverse. Yeah. So this month is really like balance for you is going to be extremely important, especially like with your words. I think there's just going to be like a lot of energy kind of like flying at you throughout the month. And you know, I'm going to keep it real here, right? Like nobody's 100% perfect. And I think because you're dealing with so many intense energies, like we have the 10 of Wands reversed here, and this card's like bright red. Like this is kind of going to be like fiery energy that's coming your way in April. And if you are in that connection, like if you're in a connection, we've got the 2 of Cups in reverse here, and then we have Temperance. And Temperance is all about balance. It's about like alchemy. And you know, next to the 2 of Cups, she's also like pouring water back and forth, like balancing between these cups, like standing above water, but like also on land. And there may be some like unresolved conflicts in your relationship, is what I'm kind of hearing. And for those of you like not in a partnership, or this doesn't sound right for your partnership, then, you know, take this with a grain of salt. Like only take this if this resonates, please. Please. But Spirit is saying like these unresolved conflicts, like this 5 of Wands, may kind of bubble up to the surface, or you may feel kind of like burdened by the pressure of the universe kind of nudging you to learn and grow. And they're just saying like be cognizant of how you approach the person you're in a partnership with, like especially if you want to stay in partnership with this person. There's just a reminder here to like keep it gentle, because you are going to have this kind of external pressure from the universe, and it's there. It's not like a clearing energy. Like Pile 1 had this like the storm as their central energy, and that's to kind of clear stuff out, get stuff moving. Like yours isn't a clearing energy like that. So like if you don't want to be in this partnership, by all means, like don't be in it, right? Like you have free will. But if you do, and you're like looking to kind of work through these issues, it's just an additional reminder to like not get so overburdened by the stuff that's happening around you. Like it's truly happening for you. And to just take a pause and make sure that you're able to communicate like in a time when you feel at peace. Like you're gonna want to try to embody this temperance energy the entire month, but like it's life, you know. Like you're not gonna be like on cloud nine, like super chill and balanced the entire month. Like no, you're gonna get upset. Like you're human, you're gonna have emotions. Like shit, I cry like every single week, if not multiple times a week. You know, like it happens, we have those emotions. So just make sure like you're taking care of yourself and getting back to baseline before you have any conversations that could potentially like be triggering or heated, is what they're saying. Okay. And yeah, if you're not in partnership with a person, I mean, like the same things apply. This could be more like getting frustrated with like the search for love as well. Like if you are looking for a partnership and not able to find one, or you're not like finding that you're in a fulfilling one, this is just the process. And again, like the more you can embody that temperance energy when it comes to your love life and when it comes to kind of like weeding through the chaff, because like we do have these like baby steps in earth school energy. So for my single friends, like this month may feel like, you know, like you're putting in so much effort to it and you're not getting that much back from your search for love. And it may be a grab bag. Like you might also find somebody, like we do have the Two of Cups here. You might find somebody that's like completely unexpected and like not quite what you were expecting, but might actually work for you. I think it's about, again, like balancing your emotions and not letting kind of like the misses or the losses or the hiccups overshadow the really good things that are happening in your life. Because you might actually find something that is really hard for you to like see as a huge blessing if you're kind of like more focused on like the chaotic energy of the month. Okay, so work friends. Spirit, can you tell me a little bit more about whoop? I'm like honestly like yelling and making such weird noises today. I'm so sorry. Okay, we have the Eight of Wands in reverse, and we have the Tower. Oh, 3 cards. I'm gonna take them. We have the Two of Pentacles in reverse, the World, and the Fool. I feel like you're like starting something. I don't know. I got this energy when I was shuffling the cards too. Like you're making some sort of change in your life, and like I think it's gonna cause some shifts. Like some sort of cycle is like ending and beginning for you. And I think that's part of this like Anima Mundi vibe, is stuff is kind of like shifting around and like restructuring, and it is kind of like a mixed grab bag of energy. But we have the Tower here as well, and this is like a super chaotic tower. That is a super chaotic tower moment. Like so many levels, so many things crumbling, like, but you're coming out of it as this like fool climbing out with a briefcase with a little like butterfly on your finger. Like, and we have the Two of Pentacles here as well. Like, this is such a beautiful card. I saw another reader point this out where these two skeletons are just like gazing in each other's eyes, and like there's a butterfly. I feel like in some way you're finding truly like your true soul's purpose when it comes to your career or your path like at work. And it's just really beautiful. Like I feel like this is, this is kind of like an internal work, and it's coming out of kind of the pressures, like both the tower and the world are on this side, and we have like reversal upright, and it ends with upright as well. Like there's a lot of energy that is in flux, like, and it may be quite challenging to you. Like I do feel like, you know, inner child work is going to be important for you too. Like you may feel challenged and kind of threatened, like not in like a not in an outward way, but like internally. Like there may be moments where you kind of like feel like a gripping in your stomach. Um, and I think that's like, that's a sign for you to kind of like sit with yourself and get back in that temperance energy, and really kind of like work through being able to feel kind of safe in every environment. Um, because I feel like most, I don't say most, but you know, a lot of the time, like our inner child like does not feel safe in an environment or taking risks. Maybe there's like a lot of fear involved with making a shift in whatever you're doing, or starting a business or starting a creative project. Um, and kind of like the fear of things not going your way or not working out. Like I kind of see that as the Eight of Wands in reverse, is like what if you make the wrong move, and instead of getting out you run into a sword. Like I but I feel like that energy is what's being healed right now. And I guess like something that's kind of like coming up for me is like there may be some like perfectionist tendencies or a fear of getting things wrong, um, that's kind of like holding you back a little bit. And I feel like this month is really about like showing you the mistakes are okay. It's not the end of the world. Like they're fixable, and you're still going to have like this beautiful forward momentum regardless of like if you make a mistake or, you know, like something goes wrong. Like the universe has your back, and there's a path for you. And you're ending with the Fool. Like this might as well like be your central energy. It's like you are going to have this beautiful new start from this energy. Um, and I think a lot of it is learning to be more gentle with yourself and learning to kind of accept mistakes, um, and be able to like balance and keep moving forward without getting frustrated. So yeah, this is really beautiful energy. Let's move on and give you some advice. We're gonna look at the African Gods Oracle. I might grab you a different card too. Okay. Well, well, there you go. Oh, okay, this is exactly what I was saying. So this card says Irosun, so afraid of what the future may be, you didn't act. So again, like the Fool is about a leap of faith, and I feel like this month really is designed to kind of eliminate that fear for you, like to get you really comfortable with yourself, comfortable with your intuition, comfortable with your own decisions. Whereas in the past, you may have like questioned yourself a lot or not taken risks for kind of fear of what could go wrong, or maybe like not pursued a passion because you didn't think it was like economically viable, or people around you told you you shouldn't. Yeah. And then we have Sun, find a balance, and Diana, be one with nature. I really like see this like Diana right now. I feel like this is like oneness with yourself. Like I feel like there is like a little bit like you resist yourself a little bit. You resist your own passions, like your own dreams. And Spirit really wants you to be able to kind of like navigate disappointments and your fears and really sit with yourself. Like, look, the siren's going off. Like, sit with yourself, understand who you are, what you want, listen to your intuition, and let it guide you. And kind of put your fear to the side. Like, there is some sort of leap of faith involved at the end of this month, and I think it's going to open up really beautiful doors for you. So while this month may be kind of like, it might be challenging in some ways. I mean, it probably is going to be challenging in some ways, but I think you're going to emerge from it like a much more confident person in your own ability to kind of make decisions for yourself and to do things kind of in the face of fear. And I think that kind of ties in with the safety and silence too as well. Like, keep your own counsel. You know, like Diana hunts alone. You may want to embody that energy as well. Like, don't share with a lot of people what you're doing, because I think that people will amplify that fear that you already have. And really, like, this is about you finding internal balance and being able to make these decisions for yourself, for the good of yourself, and like for your life's purpose. So yeah, this is all I have for you right now. This was super beautiful. I hope you stuck with me this far. I know it's kind of like, sometimes we don't want to sit with like readings that are a little bit like more chaotic or have kind of like a lot of moving parts. And I'm just grateful that, you know, you've stayed and listened this far, that you're here. And I hope you have a really just baller month. Like, there's a lot of good in here too, you know, like it is truly a grab bag. So above all, you know, like, keep your heart safe. If resonated with this reading, please like, comment, subscribe. That helps me grow my channel. And I hope I will see you in another reading soon. Okay, bye. Hi cuties. If you picked Mr. Pointy, the amethyst point, then this is your reading and the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot. Yay! Okay, so I have pre-shuffled some oracles, so we're going to put the tarot over for a second. We're going to do love life, central energy, and career and finances. And we'll start out with oracles, and then we'll shuffle some tarot on top of them. So for your love life, we have double mission, light worker, starseed, serve the world by being you. And then we have paging ground control. For central energy, we have two cards. We have the seed and the bridge. And when I shuffled it out, I noticed like you have the seed and then the star seed card. I don't know. I loved it. Okay. And then we have the cosmic heart over on career. And we have sins of the father and breaks. Which I'm interested in seeing how this kind of... This is like a really like interesting energy for a career side. So I'm kind of curious to like sit with this and like see what's going on, to be honest. So let's talk a little bit about the central energy. Like this is like a really like beautiful central energy. The seed is all about just like ruthless potential, you know, like you can literally build anything with the seed. Like it's the seed of pure potential. But you need like some kind of solid action and like backing to actually make sure that this grounds into real life. And when we connect this like with the bridge, I mean, the bridge is also about like saying yes rather than no, opening up doors, like opening up lines of communication, crossing waters. Like there's just like so much bright potential in this pile, and I'm really digging it. So I think this is going to be a month for you, just of a lot of doors opening, of a lot of possibility, a lot of growth. I do think it's going to be like at kind of the beginning stages. So I'm hearing like you're sowing seeds for the future. Um, and and so there may be kind of like this like feeling of like baby steps, or feeling like nothing like significant is really happening this month. Um, but you're really like you're setting the stage for a very like rich and bright future, depending on kind of what you're working on. For double mission, we have Lightworker, Starseed, Serve the World by Being You, and Paging Ground Control. This again is like another card that is kind of talking about like communication and building bridges. I feel like with this double mission, like your higher self is going to be sending you a lot of communications, like from like 5D to 3D. And I feel like, you know, like your eyes are a little bit closed right now. Like you're like aware that this isn't the only like layer of reality, essentially. But I think your intuitive gifts are going to be really deepening in this upcoming month, because I think that whether you're like actively working on the communication between you and your guides, or it's like something that's just slowly developing on its own over time, it's going to become much stronger this month. And like the links in between you and your spirit guides are just going to strengthen. When it comes to your career and finances, I feel like part of the bridge building that is going to be happening is also between kind of like, I don't want to call it like 5D, but like your greater soul's purpose and the way that you are like structuring your career. How do we say this? Like your career and your work life are somehow going to start shifting more towards your like light worker side. Whether that's, I don't know, like you decide to pursue a career in social work, or you decide that like you want to start working with the like diversity and inclusion team. Maybe you decide that, hey, I'm working at a soulless corporation, been there, and I want to go somewhere that's more mission focused. Like I want to work somewhere that the end goal is to help people, as opposed to like make money for people who already have too much money. Like I feel like your heart space is like opening up, but it's about making your entire life, like putting it in alignment with your soul's purpose, and like putting it in alignment with your values as well. So we have sins of the father and breaks down here too. And sins of the father for me, like this can be a very layered card. It's like very tied in with like a redemption arc for me as well. Like I feel like in this lifetime, you are working through a few different things, like, and it could be past karma from past lives, where through service, you're going to be kind of like repaying debts that you accrued. It has to do with your lineage, and it could be your spiritual lineage, like from past lives. I do like really feel that here, but it also could be healing like ancestral wounds in your line where there's been kind of like a disconnect between the spiritual realm and like your family. For example, like maybe your family used to practice like an indigenous religion, um, or they were like very like spiritual, but kind of like old world, like witchy spiritual. And that's deviated in like more recent generations. And your job on like this earth is also to like reconnect with your soul's purpose and soul's mission and kind of like realign your family with a more like true version of spirituality. And I want to be kind of like vague about this because I don't like I don't pick one religion. Like I practice technically two religions, but like my whole family doesn't practice that religion. That's fine. You know, like I'll still say grace with them. Like we're communion with the same God. Like it doesn't matter. And so it doesn't matter if like you have a practice or like you return to your roots and like you want to practice like your family's more indigenous religion, um, and they're, you know, devout Catholics or something like that. Like I think this is more learning to communicate with our spirit guides and like trust and intuition again versus having these like very like patriarchal systems that say like you need to come and talk to a priest to talk to God versus like having a relationship with your spirit guides yourself, or you know like praying to saints, um, petitioning for help, like realizing that the earth that we live in is like one of many dimensions, you know, like kind of like this like arcane knowledge that our like the system has tried to kind of stamp out as a system of control. I feel like that is part of your mission, like on this earth for your family. And it's like to resolve your own karma, but it's also to kind of steer your family in a different direction. That was kind of like a very long-winded explanation, and I'm sorry I got so off topic, but I just kind of like sometimes I start channeling and I like forget that I'm talking about career in April predictions reading. Anyway, um, I feel like you may have like hit some roadblocks in this area that really have forced you to reassess um, where you're going with your career, and it's because like of this kind of purpose in life. So if you're feeling like a little bit like frustrated, you know, like maybe you've been looking for a job and you haven't been able to find one, or like it just hasn't been the right fit, like know that something is coming in, but like this seed has to be sown, and like your intuition is deepening so you can bypass that and like start stepping on the gas again. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, friends. That was like a very... Let's move to tarot. Oh my gosh. And that failed bridge is like on the bridge is my guides telling me to stop saying sorry because the girl says it too much sometimes. Okay. Spirit. Can you tell me a little bit about Palo One's love life this month? I just heard this is the death card. Wait, the death card? The devil card. I always think it's the death card. It's the devil. But I just heard changes. You know that David Bowie song? I wrote this card after like thinking about like Major Tom to Ground Control. But yeah, I feel like, I mean, we have the King of Cups here as well. Oh, we have the Lovers. in reverse that wanted to go. Okay, I'm gonna let you go. Damn, you got some powerful energies. One more card? Okay. Okay, friends. Wow. I feel like someone sexy is coming in. But they're like a little bit stupid with their words. Like, that's really what I'm getting from this. Oh dear. Okay. This could go in like a couple different ways. Like, this person who I'm kind of seeing, and you know, this could be like recent energy too, or you could be dealing with this right now. Like, this person is gonna be like super tempting. And for all the wrong and the right reasons. Like, I feel like this is kind of a deeply like spiritual pile, and you're gonna go through the deeply spiritual growth of like having really spiritual connections that kind of fuck you up. Like, we're an honest channel, and maybe I'm just really tired tonight or like loopy from this pile, but I feel like this person is going to hold up a mirror to you, and you are a light worker. Like, you're a starseed, you're here for a reason, you have a mission. And I think this person is going to challenge you in a lot of ways, but I think one of the biggest ones is like communicating with this person is going to be difficult. And that's because both you and that person have lessons to learn around communication and around being able to kind of like sit in your feelings, process your feelings, communicate your feelings. Like, this paging ground control is also just at its very core kind of about like being like, number one can be about being ungrounded, like a ground control, where you at? Where am I? You know, like, but also it's about communication, like checking in with ground control, making sure everything's fine. If you're in a partnership right now, I think there may be like a tendency to kind of like focus on the like sexy fun aspects of the connection and not necessarily dive into the more difficult aspects of it. And I think that the more difficult aspects are going to start like, it's not that they're like going to come up in the connection. Like, it's more, these are things that need to be kind of worked through. Like, every relationship has, you know, its ups and downs. It's kind of like difficulties or miscommunications in it. And Spirit's really highlighting that like, these are the things that need to be resolved either in the current partnership that you're in or in the next partnership that you're going to have. And that's kind of like, that's just going to happen. And this is kind of the reality of being a light worker and being a very spiritual person on this earth. There's a reason why like this information is kind of consistent and out there. Like, we get the tough relationships, and it's really for our growth. And most people that have gone through something like this, like, will be grateful for the growth at the end of it, at the very least. I feel like a lot of the issues that come up in this are going to be solvable, though, to be perfectly honest. Like, we don't have the tower here. Like, yeah, we got the devil, but like, meh. I just heard like, I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Like, I ain't afraid of no devil. I get a lot of like happiness and fulfillment from this side. Okay, I'm gonna move on to career. I'm feeling like pretty like loosey-goosey. We have Carnival, the World, and we have the One of Pentacles, Olodumare, in reverse. We have the Market, which is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And we have Possession, which is the Chariot in reverse. Okay, you got a lot of majors on this side. Like, I'm telling you, like, this is, whatever changes are happening, like, it is for your life's purpose. Like, you have a lot of things that are happening in this upcoming month that are like sowing seeds for you to become the human that you need to be, to fulfill your soul contracts, to fulfill your purpose. I'm getting like tingles talking about this, but like, to be the badass healer that you need to be. And like, some sort of cycle needs to complete. Like, you need to kind of connect to your intuition and like connect to your purpose before this energy is going to get unblocked. And that's like the breaks energy that's here. Like, here, like, spirit is setting you up, like you're like at the edge of this bridge and they're building the rainbows so you can get to the other side, but like, that construction isn't complete yet. And so you're going to have to like wait a minute for that construction to complete, to like really like fully know the direction that you're going to go. And so like, the universe is shining this light on it. They're like, don't worry about it. Like, this is going to happen for you. So like, don't stress. You know, if you're kind of like a little bit lost right now, like, just work with the process, because all these blocked energies are like this is dope energy. You know, you have the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Wheel of Fortune, and you have the Chariot. And they're coming right after the World. Like, the World's here is like almost guaranteed, like some new cycle is starting. Like, that's like the seed energy. And once it takes root, it's going to change the trajectory of where you're going. Like, you're going to view your path much differently, and you're going to make much different decisions than if your path was unblocked right now, you wouldn't go in the right direction. So the universe is like really like setting it up. They're like literally like teeing it up for you, so you can just kind of like go. It's just like really beautiful energy. And I feel like this has not been like the easiest energy to work with. Like, it feels confusing. It feels sorrowful in a lot of ways. Like, I feel like you are carrying like some baggage from past lives or from your family. This is one of my favorite cards in this deck. Like, the tears that are being shed are building a palace of peace and purity. Like, everything that you're going through right now is really in service of the greater good and of like light being brought to the world. And so you can have confidence that like, once the seed has been planted and it starts to sprout, like, the universe is going to unblock you and you're just going to kind of like go. But it's just going to take a second. I think it's really about like opening up your heart in a way where you're able to kind of like integrate, like, I just heard whole ass it. Like, you're not gonna half-ass it. It's not gonna be like I'm a half light worker. No, you're gonna whole ass it. You're gonna be a whole damn light worker. And they're getting ready for you to be able to really like fulfill that mission and to bring a lot of light to this world. This was really stinking beautiful. Okay. I apologize. I am in the weirdest mood right now. I was not in a weird mood when I started filming this entire video. Okay, friends. Spirit, what advice do you have for our amazing pile threes? I just heard, let's get it on. Whatever's going on in your love life, like, have fun, friends. It's gonna be a time. Okay. Okay, we have full moon, fully living the powers of the universe, and new moon. Looking within can reveal the mysteries of the universe. This is such interesting energy to get with the seed, because it's like everything and nothing at the same time. Like, this is truly a time for you of just like full ass potential. And I feel like it is like kind of like as above, so below. As you understand yourself more, and I feel like this person, whoever this is going to reflect a lot back at you, so you can understand yourself more deeply. And once you build up that better understanding of yourself and your unique place in this world, you're just like, literally, you're going to be fully living the powers of the universe. Oh, this is so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Okay, pile threes, I think this is all I have for you. I think if I keep talking, you're going to get some weird stuff out of me. So we should call it. But thank you so much for bringing your energy. I'm so excited for you. Like, this may be a period of like a little bit of gestation, but chef's kiss. Like, it is going to be so beautiful. If this resonated, please like, comment, subscribe. That really helps me grow my channel. Come back and hang out with me. Above all, keep your heart safe, and I will see you in another reading. Okay?